Most men will never understand this. They're too busy reacting to life, chasing validation and bending for attention. You've been lied to, told that chasing women, texting first and being overly available is how you win the game. It's not. In fact, that desperate energy is exactly why you're losing. Women don't chase boys who seek approval. They chase men who have mastered themselves. The man who holds frame, who lives with purpose, who doesn't flinch when tested. That man becomes magnetic. That man becomes rare. And in a world full of emotional slaves, the rarest man becomes the most desired. But no one teaches you this. Society wants men soft, passive, and easy to control. From a young age, you're taught to be agreeable, always. Nice, never assertive. You're rewarded for being harmless, not powerful, and the moment you show strength, you're labeled toxic or emotionally unavailable. But let me tell you something. Women don't fantasize about weak men. They crave strength wrapped in silence, discipline hidden behind calm eyes. The kind of man who doesn't need her, but chooses her. That's the difference. That's the power shift. You think you're losing women because you're not rich enough or tall enough, but that's a lie. You're losing because your energy is off. You're emotionally erratic, too available, too reactive. You answer every text instantly. You let her mood dictate yours. You act like a follower and then wonder why she's drawn to someone else. But she's not chasing his looks. She's chasing his self-possession. The one thing you refuse to master, the thing that separates boys from men. Mastery starts in your mind. It's how you respond when she pulls back. It's what you do when you feel rejected, ignored, or tested. Do you chase? Do you beg? Or do you breathe, stay calm, and remain rooted in your purpose? Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a code. One that trains you to never lose yourself, no matter what. The more unshakable you become, the more she feels drawn to your energy. Not because you're playing games, but because you're playing life at a level she can feel. And once you taste that kind of power, you'll never go back to chasing. Let me paint a picture for you. One guy waits anxiously by his phone, overthinks her last message, and spirals when she doesn't reply. He's needy, uncertain, soft. He makes her the center of his life. Then there's the other guy. He's focused on his mission. He doesn't flinch when she's cold, doesn't break when she pulls away. His time is limited. His standards are high, and his presence is grounded. Women sense his strength without a word, and when the power shifts like that, she's the one texting first, chasing harder, and wondering what makes him so different. Let me paint a picture for you. One guy waits anxiously by his phone, overthinks her last message, and spirals when she doesn't reply. He's needy, uncertain, soft. He makes her the center of his life. Then there's the other guy. He's focused on his mission. He doesn't flinch when she's cold, doesn't break when she pulls away. His time is limited. His standards are high, and his presence is grounded. Women sense his strength without a word. And when the power shifts like that, she's the one texting first, chasing harder, and wondering what makes him so different. The first man crumbles under silence. He fills the void with desperation, typing long messages, analyzing emojis, begging his friends for advice. He thinks love is earned through compliance, through giving more than he receives. He gives away power like candy and then wonders why she's no longer interested. You see, she didn't leave because he wasn't good enough. She left because he didn't believe he was. His value was borrowed, not built. He needed her to feel whole, and that's the biggest turnoff of all. He showed no backbone, just softness disguised as love and insecurity wrapped in attention. Now the second man, he's a different beast. He welcomes the silence. He doesn't need answers, explanations, or closure. He understands that desire is born in distance, not desperation. His energy doesn't chase, it pulls. He makes no moves until it's time. He's not rude or dismissive. He's present, controlled, unbothered. She senses that he doesn't need her approval, and ironically, that makes her crave his attention more. In her mind, he becomes a challenge, a mystery, and mystery is magnetic. The difference between the two isn't looks, money, or status, it's energy. The first man places her above himself. The second man places purpose above everything. He leads himself, and women follow leaders. He has what every woman secretly desires, but can never fully explain. A man who's grounded in who he is. She can't manipulate him, shake him, or define him. He defines himself. And when a man defines himself, he becomes unforgettable. He becomes the mountain in a world full of dust. Here's what no one tells you. Women aren't repelled by masculine power. They're starved for it. Not control, not arrogance. Power. The power of presence, the power of restraint, the power of not reacting. The man who doesn't fold when tested, who doesn't beg for connection, who doesn't lose himself in pursuit of love. That's the man who gets chased. He stands where others fall. He listens more than he speaks. He walks away when respect is lost. And because he can walk away, he rarely has to. But here's the hard truth. Most men can't do this. They're emotionally weak, easily manipulated, and addicted to validation. They crave constant attention because they haven't built a life worth living on their own. They haven't sat in silence. They haven't done the deep work. They think attraction is about tricks when it's really about self-mastery. And so they stay stuck, ghosted, friend-zoned, and forgotten. You don't rise by playing her game. You rise by mastering yours. And that's what flips the power dynamic. But here's the hard truth. Most men can't do this. They're emotionally weak, easily manipulated, and addicted to validation. They crave constant attention because they haven't built a life worth living on their own. They haven't sat in silence. They haven't done the deep work. They think attraction is about tricks when it's really about self-mastery. And so they stay stuck, ghosted, friend-zoned, and forgotten. You don't rise by playing her game. You rise by mastering yours. And that's what flips the power dynamic. You see, the modern man is overstimulated and underdeveloped. He scrolls for hours, numbs his pain with quick dopamine, and mistakes convenience for connection. He thinks women are the goal, but in reality they're a reflection of his discipline, a reflection of his internal world. If he's anxious, she's cold. If he's grounded, she's curious. If he's desperate, she pulls away. The more he chases what's outside, the more empty he becomes inside. This is why Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a weapon. Women test men not to be cruel, but to feel their strength. She needs to know, can he lead? Can he protect? Can he stay calm in chaos? If you break the moment she pulls back, you've already failed the test. This isn't about playing games, it's about being the real deal. She'll flirt with chaos just to see if you can anchor it. That's the dance of polarity. And most men, they drown in her storm instead of being the mountain that doesn't move. But you're not most men, or you wouldn't still be watching. You're tired of being average, tired of reacting, tired of folding under pressure. It's time to rise, not just for her, but for yourself. Become the man who doesn't chase pleasure, but builds purpose. Let silence become your sharpening stone. Let solitude forge your confidence. Let rejection build your power. Because once you master you, no woman, no loss, no chaos can ever shake your ground again. So how do you master yourself? Start by becoming brutally honest about where you're weak. Do you fold when a woman pulls away? Do you obsess over validation? Begin by setting boundaries. Cut out distractions. Build a daily routine rooted in purpose. Train your body, sharpen your mind, stay disciplined with your time. Journal every morning, reflect every night, control what you can, let go of the rest. But don't just train your body, train your emotions. The real battleground is internal. How do you respond when you're ghosted, when you're rejected, when she chooses another man? A Stoic doesn't collapse. He observes the pain, accepts it, and keeps moving forward. He knows that rejection doesn't define him. His response to it does. Most men break because they've never been taught to sit with discomfort. But discomfort is the doorway to power. When you can remain calm in the storm becomes your training ground. Learn to embrace it. You must become the kind of man who doesn't flinch when tested, because you will be tested by women, by life, by your own thoughts. That test is your proving ground. Will you stay centered when your ego is bruised? Will you hold frame when she's emotional, uncertain, or cold? The man who keeps control of himself when everything tempts him to lose it, that man is rare. And in the dating world, that rarity makes you powerful. Women instinctively trust men who don't crumble under pressure. Your strength becomes her safety. Your calm becomes her chaos's end. This is the spiritual side of masculinity that no one talks about. True self-mastery is more than routines and mindset. It's alignment. You must live in congruence with who you say you are. If you call yourself disciplined, but scroll for hours and chase women who don't want you, you're lying to yourself. Your soul knows when you're being weak, and that internal war shows up externally, in your posture, your tone, your choices. But when your spirit is clean, when your habits and values match, you radiate something different. That's what women feel. That's what the world responds to. So if you truly want to master yourself, make this your new code. Discipline over desire, purpose over pleasure, control over chaos. You don't get to lead others until you've conquered yourself. That's why most men stay invisible, because deep down, they haven't earned the crown they pretend to wear. Earn it, build it. And when she sees you, let her feel that depth, not because you chased her, but because you became the man she was subconsciously searching for. Remember, women chase men who master themselves, because those men are free, and freedom is irresistible. Here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, stop chasing. No double texts, no simping. Focus entirely on building your kingdom, your health, your mission, your mental clarity. Watch how women begin to sense your shift. Watch how they lean in when you pull back. This isn't manipulation, it's transformation. The moment you stop seeking, you become the one worth seeking. Drop a comment saying, "I choose mastery." If you're ready to level up, don't just watch, commit. Here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, stop chasing. No double texts, no simping. Focus entirely on building your kingdom, your health, your mission, your mental clarity. Watch how women begin to sense your shift. Watch how they lean in when you pull back. This isn't manipulation, it's transformation. The moment you stop seeking, you become the one worth seeking. Drop a comment saying, "I choose mastery," if you're ready to level up. Don't just watch, commit. Now imagine where you'll be 90 days from now if you take this seriously. No more overthinking, no more anxiety, no more feeling like you're not enough. You'll be stronger, sharper, and finally in control. Your presence alone will change how people treat you, because when a man is whole, the world responds differently. You'll stop getting breadcrumbed. You'll stop being an option. You'll walk into rooms with quiet dominance, and women will feel it in their gut. Not because you're loud, but because you're deeply rooted in who you are. And here's the kicker, they'll try harder to earn you. Not because you're cold or arrogant, but because your energy is rare. Stoic, controlled, powerful. You become the prize not through games, but through growth. You stop fighting for scraps and start commanding space. That's what mastery looks like. That's what flips attraction on its head. So don't waste this moment. This is your wake-up call. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're serious about this journey, and share this with the man you once were, before you chose to become who you're about to be.